everyone, I'm Kenesha Woods and this is I Love My Job. Here's some alarming news. According to Forbes magazine, 70% of employees hate their jobs and want to quit. Are you one of those people? Do you feel trapped in a dead-end job, or are you a college student who has no idea what you want to do? Do you look for a happier way to earn a living? Well, our show will highlight all sorts of people in all sorts of careers and jobs who've achieved career bliss. Who knows? You might find your calling by the end of the show. Joining me today is a woman who says she loves her job, and not just because she's a local celebrity here in Philly. She's Tiffany Hill, radio co-host of B101's morning show. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Kenesha.
It's so good to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, 2:40.
2:40. From 5 to 9, you do your show.
Yep.
Those hours are absolutely ridiculous.
They're brutal.
So, why do you love your job?
Wow, that's it's a great question. Well, there's no traffic when I head into work.
Oh.
That's probably the first perk. I love my job because it's a type of job that, first of all, isn't 9 to 5. And so it doesn't feel like it's a job, it's more a lifestyle. It's a lot of fun, and we do make a difference every once in a while in some people's lives. And you get reminded of that when you get an email saying, hey, Tiff, you know, something that you said this morning, I can totally relate to that, and here's my story. And so you realize that you are actually touching people in some way.
I know that you have to love just your listeners when they send you things and you get letters and all sorts of, you know, gifts, and they get to say, like, I really love what you said today. But do you ever get any people who contact you and they're not as friendly, or they're a little odd? Do you have any stories about that?
Well, every once in a while, you'll get an email that's maybe not so nice. And the interesting thing is, I think Meredith Vieira said this one time, and it's so true. No matter how many great emails you get or how much positive feedback you get, it's that one negative one that sticks with you. It's because we're so quick to believe the negative and not all the positive, you know, and you may have found this to be true in different aspects of your life. You know, if you get somebody saying, oh, you're so great at this, oh, that's nice, but maybe you don't really believe it. But when somebody says something negative, for some reason, we're just tuned to think that, yeah, that's so true, that's my weak spot, and you're right, and we just beat ourselves up over it. And you have to really realize that no matter what you do, you cannot please everybody. There's always going to be somebody that just doesn't like you for whatever reason. And you have to train yourself to really take the good positive emails or the good positive feedback and just appreciate that.
So I do know that you did leave radio twice, though. Could we learn a little bit why you left?
Yeah, the first time it was because before the whole Anita Hill hearings, we didn't really know what sexual harassment was. And it was basically going on with all of the women at the radio station. And it was making things obviously really difficult. But we didn't know that it was against the law, what was going on. And I wound up leaving because I said, I can't take going in there anymore.
What would you say to someone who feels like they need to do something else to find happiness?
Wow. You're right. You could be doing the best job in the world, but if you're dealing with a boss or a coworker who's really difficult, that can make the best job in the world seem like the worst. So it's not even necessarily what it is you're doing. I think you have to just change yourself and your mindset and how you're going to let it affect you. And for me personally, what I'll do is a lot of meditation and a lot of yoga, and I have to get my head in the right spot and realize that a lot of times if somebody's being difficult, maybe the issue is with them.
Yes.
And they're just taking it out on you because you might be an easy target. So you have to just realize, okay, it's step back and maybe go to the ladies' room or something and think, okay, it's probably, they might have some other issues going on. And I'm not going to let this affect me.
So I know that the radio gig is great, but what do you think will happen afterwards? Where do you think you're going to go?
I mean, after radio, when I just get out of radio completely, or if that decision is made for me, you know, that I would love to just live in the desert one day and just teach yoga. That would be great.
That's
actually sleep sleep in until maybe between 6 and 7, wake up with the sun and the birds and the rest of the world. Yeah, you know, it would be nice to maybe do some type of different late night radio show maybe. You know, that would be a lot of fun, just a completely different format. But yeah, I think doing yoga in the desert would be really cool.
Well, I know you talked about doing another format, and I have to say you are absolutely gorgeous. And you are, you really are. And do people tell you that you look like Angelina Jolie at all? Like, I'm pretty sure you get that.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I've heard that when my hair gets long.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Thank you. It's a huge compliment.
No
I would say I'm her older freaky sister.
Oh,
yeah.
There it is. Well, I think that you should do television. Do you ever think about maybe going that route instead of radio?
I've thought about it, and there's definitely some pros and cons with working with radio as opposed to television. The best part is that I don't have to worry about what I'm looking like. You know, if I get that crazy breakout, or if, you know, you get the bags under your eyes, it's okay because no one's going to see you, so that's kind of great. But yeah, it's fun to be on TV with a nice set and fluffers.
The fluffers are the best part.
Yeah, but you know, it's great because in this world you can do a little bit of both too.
Okay. Is there any advice for the people out there who really decide, I think I want to be a radio DJ? Like, I really don't know what's going on in my life, but I think that hosting is where I want to be. What would you tell them?
Wow, it's so different from when I first got into it. Now you don't have to necessarily be a broadcaster, which is what we used to do. You used to have a certain speaking voice, and now it's really just being comfortable in your own skin, having a personality, just figuring out who you are, figuring out what your passions are, and building it around that. And definitely being opinionated. That seems to be a huge deal right now. It's happening in news, on news talk shows, and it's happening a lot more in radio too. It's just finding out what interests you, living your life to the fullest, and then just trying to figure out your niche, figure out almost like your character, like how they have in sitcoms, you know? Okay, I'm the yoga-loving, crystal rock-loving girl who eats whole foods. Or I'm the girl who likes to hang out at night and party with my friends. And you just live that persona. And I mean, it's kind of like a reflection of life, so.
Do you think that that's the way people will find happiness in their lives, is by finding that thing that they feel is it's what they should be doing? Yeah,
finding happiness, at least I think, is just being authentic, being who you are. And if you're in some type of job where you can't be authentic, you're not going to be happy.
Exactly.
So it can be any type of job at all, but as long as you get along with everybody and you're respected for who you are and your authenticity and your differences, then you're going to be happy for sure.
Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Oh, thank you.